Okay, hey everyone. So we're gonna go live with a review. This is the final week that we're doing goal setting. So you've had a lot of help understanding the what, the how, and the why. And I know this is a bit repetitive, but personally, in my experience, I value this as high as I value anything that I'll teach you. So I know a lot of you like to get reps in when it comes to your golf swing, but we should also get reps in when it comes to learning. We don't just remember something the first time we hear it. We need to hear it, have some time away from it, hear it again. And when we're like, oh, I remember that. I remember, oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't quite understand that last time, but I get it this time. When we go through that process, it helps the information stick. So a bit like the spacing effect. We want to have space between each golf shot because it challenges our memory. It's the same. We're having space between the goal setting information being provided that will help your long-term working memory remember what it is that we've been studying. So what, how, why? The what goal is very low control. And if we focus on this, we will become stressed. The how goals are very high control. And if we focus on the how goals, our process, they'll help us relax. And what we're looking for in here is we're looking to be quite specific. So this was something we talked about last week. The how goals not maybe being as specific as they possibly could be. So hopefully those of you that were in the blue group, you got to spend some time with Coach Dennis. Hopefully people in the silver group and the orange group spent some time with Coach Brandon and reviewed all this. And again, I must stress, this is going to be the last time we're going to talk about this. You'll get some time at the weekend session to finish this off, and then we're done. We're done with goal setting. You should have the ability to produce a great what, a great how, a great why, and connect images and pictures to that. So turning the text into a vision board. That's going to be the goal at the weekend. And then we'll be done. And as of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, you're going to be with me and we're going to do pre-shot routine in person. So we're going to move away from goal setting and we're going to go towards pre-shot routine. So that's why it's so important that you remember the what goal gives you the outcome. It's low control and can create stress if we focus on it. So we don't want to focus here. We might want to declare what we want to achieve, but we don't necessarily want to focus on it. We want to focus on this, how we're going to achieve this goal. So the process steps, the daily behaviors, the things that we can control. Because as a human, if you feel in control, you'll be relaxed. And to help a young child or a teenager that has ambitions in sport, to help them be relaxed, enjoy the process a bit more, will help them, number one, perform to a higher level, but also be a happier, healthier healthier human being. You'll be living in a better mental headspace if you can focus on the how. And then today we're going to talk a little bit about the why. We're going to go into this. So the why gives you your motivation. And what we want it to be, we want the motivation primarily, if we can, we want it to be intrinsic, internal. External motivation is okay, but we really want our why, we really want our motivation to come from within. Something very, very personal, something very, very inspiring that comes from here that helps us deal with what we would call adversity. So again, very quickly, this is the last time I'll say it. Every time we set a goal, every single time we set a goal, what do you want? How are you going to achieve it? And why do you want it? What you want is low control. If you focus on it, it will cause stress. How you're going to get it, the process steps, the controllables, they're high control. So if you focus on those, you'll be relaxed. And that's awesome because that will make you a happier human being. And then if we know why we want this goal, why do we want to improve at golf? Why do we want to get these good grades? It's going to give us some motivation. And if we're motivated, especially if we're internally motivated, we can kick on and push through adversity. So let me stop my screen there. And hopefully everyone watching this live and then everyone watching this on the recording or people doing it in the classroom, we should have gone over this enough now where you understand it. But the most important thing is you start applying it into your daily lives. Let me go here and let me go here. Okay, so we're going to watch a video. So this is Inky Johnson. We saw his video on the what, how, why. We saw him go to college and get injured and miss out on the NFL. We heard about his life. I found this video the other day. It was sent to me by a friend. So I want to share it with everyone because I think sharing this is a great insight into dealing with adversity.
Like, I feel like it comes along in organizations, it comes along in families, it comes along with teams to where you have an individual or you have individuals and they have the capacity for the journey. Yeah. It's a lot of people that got the talent and the skill, but they don't have the capacity for the journey, right? What I mean by the capacity, the things that you have to face in order to sustain, to get to where you're trying to get to on the journey, because life is always going to come back, right? You got a goal, you got a dream, you got an aspiration. You want to do something for your children, you want to do something for your mother, you want to do something for your company. As soon as you put it out into the atmosphere or the world or the universe, life is always going to hit back. Yeah. Life is always going to punch back. Life always going to send you back them body blows just to see. Let me see how bad he wanted. Like you said, you want to pay for your kids' college. Cool, right? Multi-family months. Okay, cool. You say you want to do it? Let's see. I'm going to hit you. Let's see where you hit back, where you fight back. People are resilient, man. I tell people often, people are amazing, man. And more times than not, it's not that a person doesn't have what it takes. It's that sometimes you don't realize it's going to take everything you got.
Yeah, there we go, bro.
It's just going to, sometimes it's some things, it's just going to take everything you got. Tears, blood, sweat, cuts, it's just going to take everything you got.
Yeah.
And if you stop in the midst of the opposition and adversity, you'll never get to witness the greatness.
That's it, man.
The manifestation, right? Breaking generational curses. You'll never get to witness that if you stop in the middle of the journey. I feel like it comes along in organization.
So that's one video that really highlights what we've just talked about. Do you have the capacity for the journey? So if you're trying to play in college, if you're trying to play professional, if you're trying to break the lineup in your high school team, if you want to be an attorney, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to go to an Ivy League school, do you have the capacity for that journey? And there will be a direct correlation between you understanding your why, your internal motivators, your drive, and then your capacity to stay on the journey. Your capacity to stay on the journey is linked to, can you deal with adversity? So for each one of you on this Zoom, think of that goal. Maybe it's to win the drive, chip and putt. Maybe it's to break par for the first time. Maybe it's to crack the high school lineup and qualify for nationals. Maybe it's to go to college. Whatever your goal is, Inky Johnson is telling you that you're going to face some adversity. The universe is going to test you. It's going to be hard. Anytime you set a goal, whenever you declare, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to get it, and this is why I want it, the universe is going to fight back. It's going to test you. It's going to see, how bad do you want this? And if you know your why, if you can tap into your intrinsic motivation, then you are more likely to have the capacity for the journey. So I thought that was a great video. That's the first time I've used it and shared it. But it definitely It definitely pumps me up. It makes me think about a few things that I've faced in the golf industry, trying to become an author or a speaker, trying to get recognized in the golf industry. It definitely punches you in the face. It definitely tests you. And I was fortunate enough that I had the capacity for the journey. Again, the same in life. I'm sure if you speak to all your parents that are successful and have achieved what they've achieved in their careers or achieved what they've achieved in life, there's been some adversity on the way. So we can't avoid it. So we need to face it head on, and understanding why, understanding that internal motivation is really going to help with that. Okay, so let's look at someone else. This is another great motivating video. What's your why? So when you watch this, I want you to think of the basketball player. So this gentleman, Eric Thomas, he talks about Kevin Durant, who's a basketball player. And he talks about Durant's motivation. Okay? And it's internal motivation. And it's almost infinite motivation. And it's this motivation that gives Kevin Durant the capacity for the journey. It helps him deal with adversity. It helps him become the great player he is. It helps him follow the process, and it helps him attain some unbelievable outcomes because he understands his why and he uses it to deal with adversity. Then also the gentleman speaking, he talks a little bit about his why. So listen out for that. Listen to Kevin Durant, and then listen out for Eric Thomas. Why do they do what they do?
Because when Durant score, he don't say nothing. He don't say, he ain't getting nobody excited. He ain't trying to get LeBron pissed off or pumped up. He just score on my man and shh. Only thing he does at the end of the game, he kiss his mama, he hug his brothers. All right, I'm out. Game over. Shh. But the one thing he does, I don't know if you watched it, the first thing he does when he gets on the court is he does what? Y'all better start watching these games, bro, because you're going to need to do what these champions doing if you're going to be a champion. The first thing he does is what with them numbers? He touched them numbers on the front. He touched them numbers on the back. And he's doing that for who? Which coach? His coach that was killed. His coach died at what age? And he wears what number? He got a Y. He got a Y. He ain't just playing for no championship. He not. You got to hear what I'm telling you. If y'all going to be great on that field, you got to have a why. You got to have a reason for why you do what you do. When he comes out, he ain't tripping on LeBron. He don't care nothing about no Dwayne Wade. All he keep thinking about is, I'm going to get one for my coach. That's why he ain't all smiling. Because why? He not smiling because what he's trying to accomplish, he has not what? He ain't got it yet. He ain't geeked about winning no game. He not geeked about beating San Antonio. He not tripping because they up one game. That boy, you ain't gonna see that boy smile until he get the championship. And when he get it, he gonna hold up. The problem with some of y'all, the reason why you don't give 120% every doggone time you get on the field, because you ain't got a why for what you do. You ain't got a why. I walk in the room, I can see some of y'all. I spoke to all of y'all when y'all came in for the most part. Why? Because I'm looking in your eyes. And I see some of y'all, and you ain't serious. And you think you about to go out there with the Ray Lewises of the world? Negro, please, when Ray come out, you see the passion. Every game, you see the energy. He come out every game like, y'all follow me. Follow my lead, baby, and we gonna win this thing. What's your why? If I don't give y'all nothing else, you better start that. What's your why? You know why I do what I do, and I do it so passionately? Because my grandfather was a high school dropout. My father was a high school dropout. I was a high school dropout, and we about to break the cycle. I do what I do so my son won't have to go through what I went through. When I was at the football game, my old dude wasn't with me. I saw other kids with their father. I said, that'll never happen to me. I do what I do because my daughter says she's going to Harvard. It ain't even about y'all. I'm about to come in here and blaze y'all. Why? Because I'm trying to get you all the NFL. I ain't about to miss this opportunity. This is the first NFL team I've ever done in my life, and I'm about to lick it. I'm about to give everything I got, and I will know if I don't get another gig, it won't have anything to do with the fact that I didn't put everything on the field. What's your why? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you put on that jersey? Why do you go out and practice? Why? You ain't got nobody. Listen to me. Listen, okay, I want you to write this down because I'm about to get, I'm getting there. All right. Slow down, E. I'm getting excited. Right?
Okay, so Eric Thomas, you can see how motivated he is because of his passion. So his why, his internal drive spills out in the way he speaks. He's very, 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 very passionate. And he has a capacity for the journey. This is a gentleman that at one point in his life was homeless. And now he's one of the highest paid motivational speakers in the world. So again, he talked a little bit about Kevin Durant. Is Kevin Durant trying to win games? To a certain extent, yes. Does Kevin Durant have processes? Absolutely. He follows processes every day. But what makes Kevin Durant that little bit different? What makes Kevin Durant deal with any stress, any pressure, any adversity that's thrown his way and keep going and give 100% effort every single time he's in training, every single time he sets foot on the course? And it's the internal meaning of honoring his coach that passed away. He really wants to honor that person. So inside, he has this sense of pride. He has this mission that's unfilled because he's trying to honor his coach. So the motivation and the process, understanding why and understanding his hows, they eventually come together, and over time, they allow him to win championships. But it starts with the how and it starts with the why, and then the championships come. It doesn't start with the championships and then how and then why. So we almost have to look at this from the bottom up. And then obviously Eric Thomas talked a little bit about his childhood and what he went through as a child. And that gives him this motivation, this really, really strong motivation to not be that way, to provide a different life for his children. A motivation that leads to him. He gets up at 3 a.m. to go to work, and he works and he reads and he studies and he works. He's a very, very, very hardworking person. That isn't necessarily coming from trying to make as much money as he can or trying to win awards. It's coming from this internal drive, this motivation from his childhood that he doesn't want to pass on to his children. So think about the whys that we've seen. Think about your goals, and really what we're going to do, we're going to round this process off on Saturday. So Saturday is your Saturday and Sunday, excuse me. Saturday and Sunday will be the last time you'll get to work on your goals at core. And the very last thing is when you've written your what, how, why, you'll start to attach some pictures to them. So if your what is, I want to get some good grades, then what you would do is maybe you have a picture of a red A+. If the how is to meet teachers after school, you could have a picture of a teacher and a clock. Those two images might represent, I'm going to see a teacher more. And if you want good grades because you enjoy learning, because you want to test yourself, because you'll feel proud of yourself if you stick to that process, then you could have the word pride, or you could have the word fun, or you could have the word enjoy. And that might be your internal motivator. So there, we've done our what, we've done our how, we've done our why, and we've started to attach pictures to it. And Hazel, for you, Tyler, for you, you guys are extremely young. So this is a lot of information for someone so young. And I do not expect you to know what your why is at such a young age. But it's awesome if you can start thinking about it. If you start thinking about it, when you get to my age, maybe you'll have figured it out, right? And that's awesome because so many people in the world, they don't know what motivates them. And life just kind of passes them by a little bit. But if you guys can just ask yourself this question, understand it, and think about it, then that could have a very, very, very strong impact on your ability to deal with adversity. Mr. Shuckle, same for you. I know you're a little older, but I do not expect you to come to core with this unbelievable inspirational why. I just expect you to come to core having to try to think about it and maybe having some good questions for me or for the other coaches where we can maybe help you evolve it. But guys, this is going to be something you're going to be working on forever. The what, the how, and the why. Every time you set a goal, what do I want? How am I going to get it? They're the steps I need to focus on. Why do I want it? This is what's going to motivate me. And if you forget some of this information, you can always jump back on YouTube. You can always go in your Coach Now and rewatch some of these videos. Okay? Perfect. That rounds off all the goal setting stuff that we're going to do on Zoom. Next week, pre-shot routine. So get ready to practice some breath work, some visualization, hit shots talking out loud. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening, everyone.